So, okay, so now let me get to the upside down American flag because, and to go through this
Hmm.
in a bit of detail, because I think here is where your point about what he is alleging happened here does not comport with the timeline. So the flag is flying. Justice Alito says his wife flew it because she was, quote, greatly distressed by her disputes with you. And in a letter just explaining his motivation to put up the flag, he says, and I quote him again, Emily, a house on the street displayed a sign attacking her personally. I guess that's the you are complicit or that you were just talking about, but that you say was not directed at her. And a man who was living in the house at the time trailed her all the way down the street and berated her in my presence using foul language, including what I regard as the vilest epithet that can be addressed to a woman, which is the C word. Now, let me just break this down, Emily. You say it was you who said those things. It was not your now husband. But you say Alito is lying here for another very basic reason. Can you explain?
So I, at best, he's mistaken, but at worst, he's just outright lying. And there was a neighbor who even witnessed this and witnessed me using that unfortunate term. And what else I said in that interaction is so important, and I hope it's not getting forgotten in the discourse around the word. In that interaction, she approached us, started screaming at us, used all of our full names, which to me felt like a threat because you're a stranger. We don't know you. You don't know us. How do you know our full names? Um, and I started yelling, how dare you? Because they both were there at the same time. So I said, how dare you? You're on the highest court in the land. You represent the Supreme Court of the United States. You're behaving this way. You're yelling at a neighbor. You're harassing us. How dare you? Shame on you. Um, and I did use the word. So if that in any way, distracts from that real message, I do
Right.
regret using the word because the
Yeah.
message is important. It's like the power imbalance between these people and me. I'm nobody to them.
So
And the fact they took umbrage with my sign is telling enough. It shows like a bias, doesn't it?
So,
I mean,
well, I mean, and I want to talk about that, but just to be very clear on the timing, he's saying that she put up the flag because you said those things. But when we look at, there was actually you called 911 on that day. There's actually a police report about that incident, and that shows that the timing just doesn't work, right? The flag was up before. The flag picture that the New York Times
exactly
had
right.
was weeks before that
It was
incident
like
actually happened where
January
you called
17th.
her that word. So what he's saying here, you're saying at best mistaken, but it certainly is just, it's categorically by the dates not true, right? She didn't put the flag up for that
Yes,
reason.
absolutely 100%. And that's what I want to really drive home to people is that this happened on February 15th. And we know that because they had been harassing us so long that we were like, we need a paper trail of this. Like, we better call
Yeah.
the cops right now. Like I said, these are federally protected people. They have security detail. They represent the judicial system. They are the law. And I am just a regular person. And so yeah, we called the cops that day. It was February 15th. And I think the photo of the flag was on January 17th.
Yes.
So yeah,
The timing doesn't add up. I do think it's important, Emily, just
right.
to emphasize here that this is happening between you, your husband, your household, and a Supreme Court justice and his wife. And a police report is called. I mean, it is pretty stunning just to even think about that. Can I just ask you about your interaction with him? He's there. He says this happened in his presence, this altercation where you're saying she was screaming at you with your full name and you responded with the C word. What did he do? What did he say?
He didn't say anything. And I find that very telling because I feel like in any other situation, somebody would step in if they see somebody like accosting someone like that, and they would say, "Hey, ease up a little bit. Let's go. Let's walk down the street." He didn't do anything. He just kept walking, and basically disappeared.
Never said a word. I mean, so I want to ask you about one other thing.